Man, what all goes into creating your YouTube studio setup? Well, first, you have to define what kind of videos you want to make. And that's why in this video and this training, I'm going to be talking about the best budget options for your YouTube studio setup. And be sure to stick around to the end because I'll be reviewing people in our community's YouTube videos. And I promise you will get something from it. But if we're just meeting, my name's Omar. I am the content creator here at Think Media. We got Nolan, we got Sean, we got Heather. But let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching on the live, in the comments. If you're watching the replay, down in the comments below, put replay fam and let me know where you are watching from. Let me know where you are watching from. We got Fernando Lopez from New York. Shout out to Fernando. Love New York. We got QBE Connect from South Africa. Come on, South Africa. Yeah, super cool. Dang, we got the world's tuned in right now. We got the world on fleek. We got Quantum Epic from Jamaica. What's up, Quantum? So glad you're here. We got people from India, Jamaica. Man, it's an awesome day. Let's get into this real quick. I promise this will be very helpful for your YouTube studio setup. So we'll be talking about YouTube studio budget gear and how to level up your content with it. And so let's jump right into this. This is kind of the agenda of the training. We're going to go into the gear recommendations, and then we're going to be reviewing and breaking down other YouTuber setups so you can get an idea. And these are going to be success students from our community, and I think you're going to find some value. This is kind of like the different kind of vibes we got going on. We have more than this because we upload across multiple channels. We do different kinds of content, and you'll learn that you can also have a YouTube channel that does different kinds of content. But on this top left, you have this kind of like vloggy Omar setup. I'm out here in a park. Omar, why are you at a park? Because I'm a dad and I got a 2-year-old. And so I take my 2-year-old to the park and then I press record on a ZV-1. And then we have Sean on the right. This is kind of like his live stream flow. So you'll see trainings from Sean and videos from Sean in this setup. And this is actually his like live stream. And I am live streaming right now as well. And so this is kind of that. And if that's something you want to do, we'll talk about that. This is Nolan, this is his like new fresh Arizona setup. He recently moved from LA to Arizona, and he's got a clean setup. As you can notice, it's a little bit on the wide spot, but this is what you would consider like talking head. And then the next one is me again. Shout out to Omar again. But this is kind of like your video podcast setup. All of these are kind of pretty popular, but real quick, I want to talk about the sponsor of this video, and that is StreamYard. I'm using StreamYard right now to run this live stream. You see how I can like do a transition, and then if I want to bring back my slides, I can simply bring back my slides like this. If I want to make my slide bigger, I can go like that. This is all possible with StreamYard. And what's so cool about StreamYard is more than just doing like a slide presentation, video or something like that. You can bring on guests. You can upload other videos to it, and then run a legit live stream where you don't have to edit afterwards. But we have a link in the description if you want to get a discount from signing up, and it's a very inexpensive thing. And I've used a lot of different software when it comes to live streaming. I found that StreamYard is just an easy software because it uses your like a URL internet. It's not like an application you download, and they just really make it easy for me to even pull up Alice saying love StreamYard. I can also pull up Gear Junkie, and he says been a process to start from scratch. Man, the process is where the magic is, bro. You're gonna crush, but you can do this with StreamYard. So check out StreamYard. I think a lot of people can use this for your content. But the question you must ask before you start going into building out your YouTube studio setup and things like that is, what type of YouTube videos am I creating? What type of YouTube videos am I creating? And, some channels could be subject to one type, but others could be subject to variable, multiple types, right? And so I think it's just important that you ask the question, what type of YouTube videos are you creating? Here are like I think the 5 most popular video formats. So yes, YouTube being a video platform, there's different ways you can achieve creating the content and delivering your message or what have you. And the first is talking head. I think this is like maybe potentially the most popular. This is just when you sit down, you're not really moving necessarily, and you're just talking into a camera. Now, I would also consider talking head being, followed. Like if you were being followed, and let's say you're a real estate agent and you're walking through a house, I would consider that a talking head video. That's when you, the subject, you're talking to a camera. And so that is one format of doing YouTube videos. Second is vlogging. Very popular way of creating YouTube videos is vlogging. I love vlogging, not personally, but I love watching vloggers because it's just interesting. I love seeing different scenery as you're watching videos. It's resetting attention every time you're in a new scene, and it being a little bit shaky kind of makes you feel like you're right there with the person, right? Second is podcasts, and specifically video podcasting. But one way of creating videos is by shooting a podcast and then recording the video while you upload it. And we'll talk about all this stuff in depth. The fourth is what I'm doing right now, and that is live streaming. I got a USB mic. I got my camera plugged in. And yes, this is a live stream setup. You can achieve a live stream setup with great quality, and it is possible. But the fifth is going to be a faceless channel. I think this has been more of like the more up and coming ways of people getting into YouTube. Like, hey, I don't want to show my face. Hey, you don't have to show your face on your YouTube channel, and it's totally possible. And we'll show some examples later in just a second. But let's talk about some budget gear for talking head. And just want some grace. There's a million ways you can skin the YouTube cat. There's a million ways you can shoot talking head videos. I'm just going to give some recommendations as well as like something to look for when you are shopping for your budget gear. Number one, let me just set the table. 100% use your smartphone. Okay. If you have a smartphone, especially if it's in the last 5 years or so, it probably shoots really good video and you can get started. Okay. So we've laid that foundation. Now let's talk about some budget gear for some talking head videos. I think one of the best things you can go with when it comes to talking head video is a Canon M50 or even a ZV-1. And more importantly about the Canon M50 in general is that the camera has interchangeable lenses. That means you can change the lens on the camera to achieve a different shot. So if you remember Nolan's shot, or even my shot right now, you notice that it's a little bit wide. It's not too wide, as you can see right here. But I got some background blur, and I'm separated from the background. The technical term is depth of field. But the only way I was able to achieve that is to change the lens on my camera that allows me to change the lens. And I am using the Canon M50, actually the Mark II, but I am using the Canon M50 to conduct this live stream. And then I have the Sigma 16 millimeter lens, but just a great camera, all around camera for talking head YouTube videos is the M50. I think the next best upgrade you can make is a lav mic. A lav mic is a mic that you can clip onto your shirt. And the reason why I think this is the best option for most people is because this mic in particular, the Deity V-Lav, is a $50 mic that plugs straight into your camera or smartphone. And no matter where you are moving, if you have to move around, your audio is going to stay consistent. And I am a fan of like booming your audio, putting a mic right out of the shot and then recording audio that way. But for most people, I think just getting a nice lav that is going to record good audio. There's not too many settings you need to adjust other than in camera a little bit, but plug and play, right? This is what you need, plug and play, $50, a Deity V-Lav. And yes, you can also get a wireless version of a mic like this. So this mic in particular, it is a wired mic, has about 5 meters of wireage, if that's a word, because it's not. And I was just trying to save myself, but it has 5 meters of wire. So you can get pretty far from the camera if you need to walk around, but we're talking budget, right? So $50 to upgrade your mic. You can do that with the Deity V-Lav. The next is getting some soft lighting. We love this light here at Think Media. It's the Mount Dog light kit. Comes with the stand, comes with the light, the softbox, and it comes with this awesome bulb, right? That has a remote that connects to it, and it's $50. I mean, I think I don't know. Like, you can't really beat. So for $100, if you're just really using your smartphone, you have leveled up your lighting and you have leveled up your audio, right? And so I think that's like 5 Starbucks nowadays. If you got venti frappuccinos, you're at $100 already. Not really, but really. So that's kind of the gear for Talking Head. I think when it comes to vlogging, very important that you get a camera with a flip out screen. Again, we love the Canon M50. We love the Sony ZV-1. Both have flip out screens. The thing about the ZV-1 is it doesn't have interchangeable lenses, and you might want to get a wider lens, a lens that really shows a lot of your background and things like that. And we have resources and videos we've done on lenses for vlogging, on cameras for vlogging and things like that. So make sure you check out the description after this video. I think a good mic upgrade when it comes to vlogging is this Rode Video Micro. This is a $60 mic that, as long as you are about arm's length or 2 arms length distance from it, it'll pick up really good audio, and it'll sound much better than the camera's audio. You know, it's a lot of people just go out and buy that camera and they save up for it and they want to go start shooting YouTube videos and start vlogging, but you're not going to get that good of audio quality. And we always say that 50% of video is audio, that the 50% of the viewing experience of your video is audio. And so you want to invest in that. And that is the Rode Video Micro, a proven test of time proven shotgun mic that would go on top of your camera. And then this image right here is kind of like your vlog stick. And this is a vlog stick from Ulanzi. I think it's cool because it extends, but it's also cool because it has a cold shoe mount on the right here. You can see it. It can kind of like hold the mic on the mount itself, which I think is cool. But this is an affordable vlog stick that you could put your phone on. You can put a medium-sized camera. You can't put like a super heavy-duty camera on it, or you can put a point-and-shoot camera, as you can see in the image as well. This is about a $29, $30 vlog kind of setup in regards to this Ulanzi vlog stick. So that's for vlogging. That's something you can look for if you want to start creating vlogs. I think what's cool about having a stick that extends is that it'll create more wideness in your image, and so you can see more of what's behind you if you're able to do that, versus just being right in front of your face, holding your camera or what have you. The next one is for video podcasting. If you wanted to start a video podcast, this is just dependent. And, you know, some popular video podcasts are kind of like the Dave Ramsey show, he talks about finances and things like that. If you follow Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan podcast, that is a video podcast. He shoots the podcast. It gets uploaded, I think now to Spotify, but they're recording these podcasts. Now, you don't have to have an hour-long podcast or a 3-hour-long podcast like Joe Rogan. However, if you do plan on, you know, exceeding that 30-minute record time, okay, so you're shooting a podcast, you're shooting your podcast, and you're more than likely to exceed that 30-minute. Maybe you're having a conversation. Maybe your content's just going to go longer than 30 minutes. It's important to get a camera that doesn't have a record limit. And Sony's, as of like 2019, their cameras have been, that threshold have been taken off their cameras. And so more than just, in generally speaking, like getting this camera, which the camera you see on the screen is the Sony a6100. It's about an $850 camera, but doesn't have a record limit. So you can record past 30 minutes. But you can also get a camcorder. But I love Sony cameras just because they're trustworthy. Their autofocus is amazing. The Sony ZV-1, another smaller camera, does shoot without a record limit, which is cool. But that's just something to keep in mind, is you want no record limit if you're going to pass that 30-minute mark. However, if you're not, or if you're okay with starting and stopping, by all means, get a regular camera like the Canon M50, and that'll be just as gravy. As far as audio, when it comes to video podcasting, it's a little bit different because you probably want a dynamic microphone. This is the Samson Q2U. Absolutely love this USB mic. It costs around $70 and it comes with a ton. And what's cool about the Q2U is that it sounds phenomenal. We've put it up against a ton of different microphones, and for $70 and for everything you get, it sounds amazing. You can also plug it into your phone via USB if you just have an adapter or something. But this is a dynamic microphone where you kind of see the mic in the shot. You can't really boom a mic like this, but this will give you that rich radio podcast sound. And then I would recommend for lighting that same Mountain Dog kit that I mentioned earlier. Now we got best budget gear for live streaming. Best budget gear for live streaming. The big thing is that you get, if you want a super crispy image when it comes to live streaming, and I know a lot of people are gamers, a lot of people want to do reaction videos and things like that. You want a camera that has a clean HDMI. A clean HDMI is important because all that information that you see on the back of your camera or on the screen of your camera, it doesn't get translated through the HDMI cord, which is how you would plug it into your computer, which is awesome. Now, there are ways around this, and like I mentioned before, there's a million ways to skin the cat of YouTube and live streaming. But you could use your USB cable with most Sony and Canon cameras. You're just not going to get the optimum quality out of it. So that is something to look out for when you're doing live streaming. And that's why I would recommend this capture card. So you're going to plug in your HDMI into your computer. And the way you can do that is through a USB cable. A USB capture card that will convert your HDMI cord into a USB and then read your camera as a webcam. It's such an easy process. And honestly, everyone who does it literally gets wowed because they're like, what the heck? Like my Zoom calls look like Netflix top 10 movie drops. No, I'm just kidding. But you get what I call, this is what I call it. Drippy crispy, bro. Like you get the drippy crispy look like your boy Omar. Put drippy crispy in the comments if you're liking the vibes. Anyway, move on. As far as audio, when it comes to live streaming, this is just a USB mic. I think it's a tested, tried and true mic, and we've used it. I've used it a couple times. It's called a Fifine mic. It's only like $60, and you get the arm, you get the mic, you get the pop filter, the shock mount, all for like $60, $50. And this is kind of like your best budget, setup gear for when it comes to live streaming. And just make sure you do the research when it comes to clean HDMI. There are older cameras that have clean HDMIs. The thing is when it comes to searching for those are going to be like your OfferUp or your eBay kind of things. But just do your research and just make sure if you want to live stream, or you maybe not going to live stream yet, but you plan on it in the future, to look into a clean HDMI. And then lastly, we have the faceless videos. And that's if you're going to, maybe you're doing software tutorials where it's just your screen recording and then you're just going to talk into a mic afterwards, or you're going to do voiceover work. You're going to want a good mic. And I think the Samsung Q2U is a good mic for that. Another way of doing faceless videos is your hands being in the video, but just not your face. And we actually made a video on a smartphone setup where one of the girls on our team, she has a charcuterie board channel, Amaze Grace boards. And she's grown to 1,000 subscribers, but part of her videos is faceless, where she's actually, setting up the food, but she's not showing her face, but the phone is face down and recording all that she's doing underneath it. Now you can actually shoot complete YouTube videos like this, where you're just recording audio and you're showing how to do something. And if you don't want to show your face, that's totally fine. And you can do that. And so one way of doing a faceless channel is doing, software kind of tutorial type stuff, or you can actually just not show your face and having a setup kind of like this. And we'll post links to everything that I'm mentioning down in the description below. That's why I kind of put a laptop, but you would essentially use your computer for the actual footage you're creating, whether that be downloading stock footage from a website or creating those software tutorials. But make sure you do check out the links in the description. Everything is listed down below. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments as well. I would love to. We're usually in the comments, and we love answering and helping, even if you think there's a possibility. But I have a question for you, and it was the question that I asked earlier. And that question is, what type of YouTube videos are you creating? Let me know. What type of YouTube videos are you creating? I want to know, I want to hear it from everyone in the comments. Thank you, Jasmine, for saying thank you. I love that people are starting to see that we are a team. 100%. We Think Media is a team, and we want to definitely help as much people as we can, and it's going to take a team to do that. Think Media team loves you too. Naya, the queen, says vlog. We got tutorials by Evan. Sick. We got some unboxing by Wayne. Hey, we got my e-class in Bytes is a faceless channel. I could see that avatar. You probably look like that, but that isn't you, which is cool. And I think it's just good to know that you can do that. I'm loving all the different stuff. We got hardware, software, and how-to. There's so much people that are looking for help online. YouTube is a great place to post those kinds of tutorials because people will find you. But shout out to everyone. I love Decoders doing some tech. I love church announcement videos. Let's go. If you're a real one and you know what's up, church announcement videos will teach you the basics and put you in the gauntlet of video creation and editing and turning it around quick and all that stuff. I learned my skills were also honed in the realm of church announcement videos. But yeah, love seeing all the things that you guys do. So we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving to the next part of this training. And that is, we're going to be looking over our students' videos. Now, a lot of people may not know this, that we have a course that helps you really go from dabbling on YouTube to dominating on YouTube, and that is Video Ranking Academy. And so we have over 8,000 people who have joined in on this journey of trying to create a part-time or full-time income with YouTube. And we've seen success from hundreds of people, and some people are obviously have been helped, and you've probably been helped by our free content. But Video Ranking Academy is really those people that really wanted to dive in and learn the legit strategies on how to really create a legit income using on YouTube without also this is the big thing, without a huge following. Even Sean, the CEO of Think Media, he actually went full time when Think Media had about 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. Like most people wouldn't even fathom the idea of going full time on YouTube with 15, but it is doing the right strategies and doing the right things up front so that you can monetize early on and create a living for yourself. And so these are some of our students. This is Dr. iHealth, who he does videos on eye health. And then we have Mary, who does cooking, and I'll show an example as she's an example today. And so you can actually check out our free 1-hour training. Nothing, just go check out that 1-hour training today or whenever you have time. You can go to Think Masterclass to check that out. There's nothing. It's free to you, 1-hour training. So learn about the ways you can really take YouTube serious. If you want to take YouTube serious, then that is for you. That's at thinkmasterclass.com. But we're going to go into some examples, and I think these examples are going to give you some ideas as I kind of just like break down some of the different things that our students are doing. And so we will start with one of my faves. This is Mary. So Mary's her channel is called Mary's Nest, and we're gonna watch part of this video. I just want you to see, and maybe you're doing cooking, maybe you're doing something where you're demonstrating how to do something. I just want to give you some encouragement. This is Mary, who has 400,000 subscribers, and she's just crushing it on YouTube. So let's check out her video.
I want to share with you how to make a healthy powdered coffee creamer that's a shelf-stable, pantry staple. Hi, sweet friends. I'm Mary, and welcome to Mary's Nest, where I teach traditional cooking skills for making nutrient-dense foods like bone broth, ferment, sourdough, and more. So if you enjoy learning about those things, consider subscribing to my
I don't know about you, but don't you just love Mary? Like you just want to watch this video and learn all the good cooking she's doing. But most of her videos, so she has tons of videos on her channel, and we'll post everyone's links to the channels that I'm talking about in these next few moments down in the description, so you can check it out later. But Mary just does kind of just a stationary shot for most of her video, and the cameras she uses are like the Canon M50. She has a Canon SL3, but as you can see right here, if you can notice it on her chest, on her apron, she's got a what kind of mic is that, guys? It's quiz time. That's right. She's got a lav mic. And so this is going to allow her, regardless of all the moving she's doing, to have consistent audio no matter what. And so people resonate with her stuff, so much so that 400,000 people resonate with her stuff. And so, yeah, so then what she'll do is she'll take the time to shoot kind of like what we would call B-roll. So if she's ever talking about the ingredients needed, she'll get close-up shots of that stuff and then in post throw it over, which is called B-roll. But look, it's very simple, like talking head, video. This is what I would consider talking head, like, and it's fairly wide shot. I know she uses kit lenses and occasionally she'll go outside and stuff like that. This is Mary's Nest. She uses a Canon M50 and a Canon SL3 to shoot her YouTube videos. But check out these students. Just want you to see, this is a talking head example of a simple setup. Canon lavalier mic, a nice little soft lighting, and you got 400,000 subscribers, right? All right, the next person we're going to be talking about is one of my favorite guys. His channel is called Dadverb, and what he does is he actually is kind of like the YouTuber dad. He's reviewing things like strollers and monitors, and even in my fatherhood journey, his content has become so much helpful. But he does such a great job at delivering the content, and he's been growing a ton, but also been able to monetize and go full-time on YouTube. But this example in particular is a vlogging example, so let's check it out.
Get started, I talk about a few different things in this vlog. If you want to jump to a particular part of this video, whether it's the Duna trike or toddler game ideas, the timeline of the YouTube video itself is divided into sections, so you can jump to wherever you want. Just had to let you know that. Thank you. Let's get started. Nice, dude. Did you hear him? That was cute.
Love it. You got some time lapses going, but like this is a vlog, right? And like sometimes he'll do talking heads, sometimes he'll do live streams and things like that. But this in particular is a vlog example. And I think one thing that I love that I saw in this is that in this video, he uses multiple cameras. Like for these time lapses, he's using his smartphone. He's using his iPhone to do his time lapses. In that opening shot, he is using an interchangeable lens camera like the Canon M50. He uses a Panasonic Lumix G7, I believe. GH7. Is that a camera, Tony? Tony knows what's up when it comes to it's a GH5. That's what he's using. I'm a Sony and Canon guy. I just lost all credibility whatsoever. So anyway, you can notice that like when he's out and walking with his family, that like the quality kind of drops a little bit, but what he's using on this shot is called a DJI Osmo. It's like a mini camera on a gimbal. So it really gives you that super wide shot. But and then it's stable because it's literally a camera on a gimbal, but it's tiny. It fits in your pocket. And the only downside to a camera like that is that the audio isn't that good. It's kind of muffly. But if you're just there to capture the content, but he's switching it up. And then like later in the video, he's using his Panasonic again to really get those. You could see he has a little bit of a blurry background, so he's upgraded his lens. But that there's like what's cool about vlogging is like you're just telling the story, and you can use various different ways to do it. One thing I learned about vlogging is it's so important to know the reality of convenience. You want your setup to be convenient. You don't want to dial in your settings every time you hit record. You need to turn on the camera and hit record when you're vlogging, and knowing that like the magic of what vlogging is going to attract the viewer's attention. And obviously telling a good story. I think what's cool about this video in particular is that he's made it a search kind of based vlog, which is something we teach. Is like you don't have to just do these vlog day 36 type videos. You can actually have strategic vlog content, and then it can help people if they go and search and they find your stuff, learn about your personality. But that's one of our students. He's crushing the game. The next one is a Faceless example. And this is a channel called Row Builds. It's a Roblox channel, but she's doing like software tutorials where it's just her voice, but let's check it out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm showing you how to make a really cool porch swing using the new update that came out yesterday, which is the beams. You are going to need advanced placement for this, and it's actually super easy to do, so let me show you how to do it. You're first going to start off with the floating technique, which is when you add a bunch of sandboxes depending on how much height you want.
So this kind of video format might be something you would want to do. She's just voice overing what it is she's teaching, and I didn't even know that you can use a video game like this, to be honest with you, to do like interior design stuff. But that's what her entire channel is. But you might be, you know, an accountant and or a CPA, or you might be a real estate agent and you want to show MLS listings and things like that. You know, I mean, like maybe you just want to show what's on a computer screen and then talk people through it. You can start a YouTube channel doing so. And I love that she does this, and she keeps them short for the most part. Sometimes, again, they rank in search, and so people are finding it helpful. This video has like 8,000 views, which is pretty awesome. And I think that's just something to know, like, that her audio though is good. It's not just like random. But I would also say that she recorded her audio after the fact. So she got all her, you know, screen recording, put it in that timeline, and then did her voiceover. But she has a completely faceless channel, and you won't see her face, but she is growing on YouTube, and she's one of our success students. And I got time for one more, but put one more in the comments if you're ready to see this next example. If you're ready for it, put one more in the comments. One more in the comments. So the next example I want to show you is our podcast. Hey, did you know that we had a podcast? Yes, Think Media, we have a podcast where we upload weekly on Tuesdays. And this is a video podcast that we do. Every Tuesday gets a drop. Sometimes there's live teachings on the YouTube channel site itself, but this is just an example of a video podcast. And we really are encouraging people who are potentially subject matter experts in their field, or who have already created an influence online, to go deeper with your audience and start a video podcast. But let's check this out real quick.
Tells me is, again, even when you feel like something's saturated or there's massive competition, 80,000 channels have a minimum of 100,000 subscribers. This is why Signal Fire told us that being a content creator in general is the fastest growing small business type. I think around 1,000 subscribers, you essentially are probably able to have your own sustainable full-time online business.
So you've decided to go all in on YouTube, and maybe you even know what niche you're in and what topic you're talking about.
Love Heather. What up, Heather? How you doing? I'm good. Thanks for asking. Anyway, so yeah, this is our Think podcast, and you know, co-hosted by Heather, and Sean does incredible trainings. But this is, as you can see, this is a stationary shot, and then we have a dynamic mic. The Samson Q2U will give you a very similar sound to this mic right here. You don't want to know how much this mic costs. I'll let you know. This is the Shure SM7B. It's a $400 mic, guys. Good Lord. Who needs a $400 mic? Nobody does, but we got a $400 mic. But we also throw in a second angle, which I think is something you could even implement if you have a smartphone. I think what's cool about a second angle is if your camera doesn't have, you know, a full record limit, your smartphone has no record limit, right? So you can actually get by with two angles just because you have an ongoing second angle. And I don't think you need two fancy cameras for that. I think one angle on the side using your smartphone, and then your good camera straight up front will make do for a great video podcast. Obviously, you can see some soft lighting. We've built this set, you know, at what we call Anderson Studios. You got some IKEA shelving in the back, some of our little placky, and a light in the back. But more than anything, that's kind of just like the tangible examples of what I mentioned earlier in regards to gear recommendations. I get tons of DMs on Instagram about people wondering what camera they should get, or what mic should I get. And the reality is you want to identify what kind of content you're creating so that you get the right option. Not all mics are going to work for what you're trying to do. Not all cameras are going to work for what you're trying to do. But you want to make sure that when you start investing into your YouTube studio, which you don't need to invest much, you can go with the budget options like I mentioned in this video, then you could start creating content and really stand out from everybody else in your industry. But I think more than anything, the tip here, the final thing is to just get started. You can use your smartphone, use the onboard mic, start messy, yet let the audio, let the mistakes get out of the way. And even though you'll never graduate from mistakes, but like there is something about getting in the repetition of creating content, editing the videos, uploading the videos. And then as you grow, you can level up the gear by all means. But we love giving you the best budget options in many cases. But the biggest thing is that you know the type of content you are trying to produce. Hope you found this training helpful. If you want to check out another video from Think Media, you can click or tap on the screen. Make sure you hit like if you haven't already. And I love you so much, and we will see you in a future